There are 538 students enrolled at George Washington Community High School. These students are 36.4% white, 31.4% Latino, 27.9% Black, 3.4% multiracial, and less than 1% Asian and American Indian. As one can see from these demographics, there's a pretty strong Latino presence at the school. The surrounding community also has a strong Latino presence, and there are several businesses and organizations that deal all or mostly in Spanish, such as a Catholic church, a barber shop, a travel agency, and several other small businesses in the area. This demographic contributes to the 16% of students who are part of the English as a New Language program within the George Washington Community High School that has 2 teachers solely devoted to it. The majority of the students at George Washington receive free meals, 73.4%. 3% receive reduced price meals, and 23% have paid meals. These numbers reveal that almost 3/4 of the students at George Washington come from households that are at the low end of the socioeconomic spectrum. This statistic, along with the amount of English learners at the school, most likely accounts for the relatively poor achievement data of the school. George Washington's grade for the 2012 to 2013 school year was a D. Before that, it was a C, and before that they had an F and were on academic probation. Regarding test scores, 33.7% of students passed the English 10 and Algebra 1 ECA in 2012 and 2013, and 30% of students passed the Biology 1 ECA. The graduation rate the year before was 64.9%, having dropped from the previous year. This is a grim outlook. However, as we saw, a lot of the students are E&L students, which means they must try to learn a new language and take classes in that new language at the same time, making it understandably difficult to excel academically. Also, students who come from a household with a low socioeconomic standing may have to spend their extra time working or babysitting their siblings while their parents are at work, and thus don't have the time to focus on their schoolwork. They may also have parents who work in the evenings and can't help them with their homework because they need to make money to pay for food and housing. Academics are likely not the most important thing in most of these students' lives. They may be more preoccupied with making it from day to day than with turning in their homework on time. 22% of the students at George Washington are also identified as having an exceptional need of some kind, ranging from learning disabilities and emotional disabilities to mild and severe mental disabilities. It is likely that at least some of these students, if not most or all, are also from a poor socioeconomic background, which means they might not be receiving all the assistance that they need to excel. Although George Washington has 21 faculty members devoted to special education, it may not be enough without that component of at-home support, which not all students have the money to comfortably attain. All of these factors provide a more meaningful insight into the achievement rate of George Washington Community High School. The community immediately surrounding the school is 53% white, 37.9% Black, 9% Latino, and less than 2% Native American and Asian. These numbers differ from the demographics of the school itself, where there is more of an equal amount of white, Black, and Latino students. 64.6% of the residents have graduated high school, and 10.9% have a bachelor's degree or higher. The median age is 32.9 years, and most of the residents are younger than 60. The median household income is $26,435 per year, and most of the residents make $35,000 or less. The average cost of a home in the area is around $38,500. Many of the homes that I saw in the community were nice 1- or 2-story homes with a yard, but there were many abandoned houses and houses that were for sale. The area has several restaurants, mostly locally owned, and small businesses. There are very few chain restaurants or corporately owned businesses in the community. There are several services related to the development of students and of the community that exist in the area. There are a few churches nearby which may have youth programs in which students can participate. There is also the Hawthorne Community Center a few blocks away from the school, and the Hawthorne Center for Working Families, which is a part of the Hawthorne Community Center. The Community Center hosts after-school programs for students, childcare, and a preschool. The Center for Working Families provides employment services, financial counseling, and emergency services to the community. The Mary Rigg Neighborhood Center is also active in this community. It is partnered with the Center for Service and Learning and the IUPUI School of Education to help support George Washington Community High School. Mary Rigg provides a preschool, before and after school programs, GED study courses, summer day camp, and employment training. They also provide assistance with meals, job searching, and health insurance. Although not all of these available programs directly help the students at George Washington, many of them indirectly help them by providing services for free that their families then do not have to spend money on. For example, a parent may not have to pick up an extra shift at work because they received assistance with health insurance from Mary Rigg, thus allowing them more time to spend with their child. George Washington offers advanced placement classes and dual credit as a part of the Bridge Scholars program at UIndy. It has a Project Teach program for students who want to become educators in the future. It also has extracurricular clubs that include several sports, art, theater, band and choir, junior ROTC, LGBT support, Spanish club, yearbook, and several academic organizations such as the Science Club, Math Club, Robotics Club, National Honor Society, and a student government. The school also provides access to Mingo Languages, an online language learning system specifically aimed at English as a new language students within the school. These services support students becoming well-rounded and open-minded members of their community who can participate in a knowledgeable way. The purpose of George Washington Community High School is thus to create a community of responsible, caring, and capable people who can both find and give support in their community. This purpose also connects with the community in which the school is located and the needs of the citizens there. Many of the students come from low-income families that live in the area, and developing the skills to work with others and continue their learning will help them improve their status in life and, more broadly, the community as a whole, as they help each other succeed. The per-student expenditure for George Washington during the 2006 to 2007 school year was $596. As mentioned before, about 3/4 of the students receive free or reduced lunch from the school. The general fund for the school, according to the district general fund proposal, is $1,184,898. Compared to the other schools in the district, George Washington is on the lower end of the spectrum regarding the amount of money they receive for the general fund. There are 50 teachers at the school, and their average salary during the 2006 to 2007 school year was about $47,000. There are no sources that provide additional revenue directly to the school, but there are a couple programs within the neighborhood that help the members of the community with personal expenses. These numbers indicate that the school likely struggles to provide for all of its teachers and students. It can only afford to spend $596 per student, which is far below the national average of $11,824 per student. The low-income status of most of the students who attend George Washington also indicates that the school receives little to no money from the families who send their children to school there. Thus, it is likely impossible for the school to pay for the best materials, technology, and teachers that would enhance the education of the students and allow them to reach their full potential. The lack of funds that the school receives would account for the low achievement data that it has. It simply cannot afford to meet the academic, social, and emotional needs that each student has and must have met in order to succeed. The mission of George Washington Community High School is to remove barriers to student academic success by engaging community partnerships to ultimately achieve adult financial independence and civic engagement. This effort to work with the community and create responsible, successful individuals within the community correlates with the philosophy of progressivism. The focus on community aligns with John Dewey's belief that education is a social process and that communities can be improved through effective education and students should become socially responsible. George Washington offers advanced placement and dual credit classes as well, which can help students continue their learning into higher education, allowing them to continue to grow in education and further serve their communities in the future.